We are having 2 weddings, and we're having 2 destination weddings actually. So planning has been interesting to say the least. Oh, and don't get me started on guest count. For some reason, my mama thinks the whole village can come to my wedding, and that's not happening. I was double thinking my decision to come to law school a lot. Like, I was not enjoying law school. I just wasn't happy.
I may be young, but I'm ready to give you all my love.
Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. It's michelleamoree, and if you are new here, hi, hello, welcome. So first things first, a happy new year. I know I have been gone for a second, and it honestly was not intentional. I mean, I think my last video was around finals time in like November or December, and then life just kind of went crazy during exam season, and then during the break I just took some time to just do nothing mentally. So now I'm back, and I'm so happy to be back. I hope you guys enjoyed my new little intro and outro and stuff. Like, I wanted to kind of revamp. And also, I hope you guys are seeing me a bit clearer. I'm finally using my Canon M50 camera. I was like, this is the year to upgrade my life in every area possible. And so obviously this year I want to create even better content for you guys and just do more on this channel and really create a community here. Now, this video is basically going to be a life update video. It's been so long since I've been able to have a moment to just kind of sit and chat and let you guys know like where I'm at with life, law school, wedding planning, what's going on with me. But before we get into that, this video is kindly sponsored by Dossier. They sent me another one of their perfumes. You guys know I love this brand. I love their scents. And I literally have one with me at all times, like in my car, in my bag, whatever the case may be. So if you don't know, Dossier is a brand that reproduces high luxury scents at a fraction of the cost. They have a risk-free system which allows you the opportunity to try their perfumes and return them if you figure that they're not for you. And if you do decide to return, you can go ahead and do so within 30 days, no questions asked, and you get a full refund. Now, typically designer scents range from like $100 plus. But Dossier is amazing because you get these same scents, but at a fraction of the cost for only like $29. Now, the scent I'll be sharing with you guys today is called Floral Rhubarb by Dossier, and it is inspired by Marc Jacobs' Perfect. So I actually happen to have both perfumes here, so I'm gonna go ahead and try them out and compare them together. So this is Dossier's version. Now, this is the original Perfect by Marc Jacobs. And they literally smell so similar. They have the same floral, fruity scent that I absolutely love. It's so girly, so feminine, literally my favorite scent pattern in any kind of perfume. So I recommend you guys go try this out. I love Dossier, and I love this scent in particular. Because they're so affordable, you can go ahead and try out and buy multiple at a time. And if you go ahead and buy in bulk, like 3 or more, you get a 25% discount, which is incredible on top of an already $29 perfume. You can't beat it. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and dive right into our video. So I'm gonna start with law school because it's the least exciting aspect of my life right now. But final season was rough. It was really rough. Like 1L in general was just really tough for me, at least for this first semester. I felt like, you know, I did a lot of research. I spent so much of my time listening to different people. I had incredible mentors. I had all the resources I needed. But it's like one thing to like hear different people's advice and approaches to how you should do law school or how they suggest doing it. And it's another thing to like get into it and figure out what works for you. And that for me is a challenge. And I realized it was a challenge even during the LSAT. You have all these prep companies telling you, do this way, do this that way. And like for me, I just realized that sometimes, you know, the most popular approaches to doing things just doesn't work for me. It doesn't click for me personally. And so this semester, I definitely held myself back by doing certain things that weren't so productive for my own learning. And I do take responsibility for my performance. I did film a bit of my reaction, and I think I was kind of just numb by that point. So I really wasn't like, oh my gosh, super bummed out by my grades. Truthfully, they were not pretty grades. They were not the best grades I've ever received in my life. But at the end of the day, I made it through. I made it through the semester. I passed all my classes. But as a person who always strives for excellence, it was really kind of humbling for sure. And a bit depressing a bit to kind of see less than stellar or less than excellent grades, you know, especially, you know, being in this field. A lot of us were the top dogs in undergrad. We had the top grades, got the top accomplishments and the awards and all of that. And so to go from there to where you're now feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm struggling, I'm not doing as well as I used to do, it can be pretty difficult. And I kind of use this break as an opportunity to really just reflect on the semester and reflect on like how I just feel about everything. I will say this, outside of academics, I did have a lot on my plate personally in terms of like, you know, dealing with family. When I was navigating this first semester, that definitely didn't make my load, you know, quite easy. And I'm talking about things like getting certain phone calls first thing in the morning and feeling like I need to drive to Houston this morning and go figure out and see how I can help and stuff. Just not being as present mentally. So those things definitely played a part in just my ability, I feel like, to keep up with the academic workload. And then on top of that, I was dealing with a lot of like regret almost. I wouldn't say necessarily regret, that's a bit too harsh, but I would say I was double thinking my decision to come to law school a lot. Like, I was not enjoying law school. I did not enjoy the classes. I just wasn't happy. I literally would spend so many of my days just like I'm pretty sure I've watched every single video on YouTube where people talked about how they hated law school, how they quit their legal job, how they left law, how they didn't use their JD, non-traditional things they did with their JD, because I was just like, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. And I'm not 100% sure how much of that unhappiness was due to actual law school or just feelings of unhappiness with other areas in my life and dealing with certain things. But I just was not at a really good place emotionally. And my kind of mindset was just like, let me just get through the semester. Like, let's just survive and get through. But it made it kind of hard because everyone tells you that the first semester of law school is your most important and it's so important for jobs. And, you know, now that we're in this space where people are getting acceptances into summer associate positions and internships for the summer, you know, those grades are so critical. Literally right before I started filming this video, I got an email from a partner at one of the firms I applied to. And I loved the firm. I loved everybody I met with. And she took the time to personally email me and said that I was universally liked by everybody I interviewed with and that they wanted me to apply again in the following summer. And it was just like, I know that I would have had way more opportunities at this point right now had those grades been decent. I know not to kind of boast on myself, but I feel like I have a pretty strong resume. I feel like I can do an interview and I can connect with people. I can be very articulate. So it just, you know, I just knew as soon as they were like, hey, can you send our transcript? I was like, all right, there you go. There you go. So, you know, that has been kind of difficult, but I'm not somebody to get down in the weeds by things that don't go my way. And if anything, I think just my faith in God and my faith in, you know, the plan He has for me, even if I don't get what I want this summer for an internship, I know it's going to be what I need. And I know it's going to put me in a position where I'm going to learn more about myself, learn more about what I even want from the legal field. Like, I couldn't even tell you right now that I know for a fact this is a certain field of law that I want to practice. I want to practice in this size firm or do this or do that, because there's just so much going on in my mind in terms of what does the trajectory of my career even look like. I'm in the process of getting married, and if you know me, family and marriage, being a wife, are just things I don't play around with. It's truly the most important thing in my life. And so I wouldn't want to be in a career that makes me feel like I have to choose between home and my job. I would happily walk away from that job and be the devoted wife and mother that I want to be. So it's like thinking about all these different factors has just honestly made this first semester of law school so ridiculously emotionally draining, psychologically draining. It's been a ton. But like I said, although my grades weren't, you know, stellar or excellent, I'm proud of myself that I even got through it. I'm proud of myself that, you know, I took those exams and I did the best that I could. And I think that's really what matters. At the end of the day, we're all hard on ourselves and, oh, I could have done this better, I could have done that better. I stuck through it. I did it. I didn't drop out. I didn't quit. Next semester, I'm coming for fire, you know? But that's basically where I'm at in terms of law school. I am going to go ahead and leave some clips for you guys to kind of see my initial reaction to my grades and everything. But, you know, I think I was pretty numb. Like, I was just like, I wasn't expecting too much anyway, so it wasn't like I was devastated whatsoever. All right, so I'm into the system. Babe, if it's bad, I can just be a housewife, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm about to check. I wish you were here.
I'm here. I'm there in spirit. Did you lose your scholarship?
No, I did not.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
All A's?
You know, it's not all A's. My last exam was so bad. And to be honest, it's because I barely studied for that one compared to the rest of them. I feel like the grades are what I would expect them to be, honestly.
Did you pass?
Of course.
Well, that's good. That was the goal, right?
That was the goal. Yeah, no, these are probably the worst grades I've ever made in my life.
No, but you gotta give yourself some credit. It's law school. It's not easy, and
You're right.
this is your first semester, so you should be proud of yourself. You persevered. You didn't quit. You took it on the chin like a champ, so it can only go up from here.
Yeah, it can only go up from here. Ain't more directions it can go. But I'm the kind of person where I feel like, you know, I don't think grades define me, and I'm so glad that's something I've learned in this first semester of law school. I refuse to allow grades, academic credentials, external things to validate how I feel about myself. I think I'm a pretty amazing person. I think anybody would be blessed to be able to work with me. I think there's so much I have to offer in any environment that I enter. And so I would never allow like academic credentials to make me feel like I'm less than, or I'm undeserving, or I'm just not a valuable person and I'm not loved. Because in the grand scheme of things, life is so much more than grades, so much more than school, so much more than your job title or whatever. So I'm really glad I was really able to hone in on that understanding in this first semester, because I know it can be really difficult. I just think it's so important to really take care of yourself and really find a sense of validation and worth outside of what you do, because that can be taken away, or, you know, maybe you just are off one year and you don't have those same credentials. Who are you stripped naked outside of all those things? And I think this period has really given me the opportunity to, you know, fall in love with me as a human, not me as the lawyer, me as the person who makes YouTube videos, me as anything else, just me. So fast forward to now, we are in the spring semester of law school. I love the fact that we have a fresh start. I'm already going about things so differently than last semester. Listen, cold calls, listen. My main priority is the final exam, and I'm like being final exam focused from like the beginning of the semester. Obviously, looking bad in cold calls hurts. No one wants to look dumb, yada, yada, yada. That's not even my concern at this point. I want to make sure that I'm taking the main things that I need to know in order to succeed and do well exam time. So I've already changed and restructured certain things in my study routine, how I'm preparing for class, and just how I'm outlining throughout the semester, because waiting to outline is not for me whatsoever. I learned that last semester. So yeah, now in regards to like the job prospects and everything, I'm applying, and I'm also kind of going out on left field and applying and reaching out to some places that I'm interested in working with. I think I have an interest, and I say I think because obviously I'm still learning and trying to figure out what I even want from this whole JD experience. But I think real estate law is really something that I think I'd be interested in exploring and seeing what's all about. So I am in the process of reaching out to some firms, small, big, I don't really care, but some firms that do work in the field exactly that I want to do or that I'm interested in doing work in, and seeing what kind of opportunities come out from that. So I really just want to learn. I think what I really want from this semester, from this summer internship or job, is just exposure. I don't want to pigeonhole myself into a specific area of law just for it to turn out that this isn't what I'm passionate about and this isn't something that I enjoy doing. So I want to give myself the grace to learn, to explore, to try things, to fail, and figure out what I could really see myself doing as a career in this field. Now, moving on from law school, let's get into wedding talk, personal talk, me. So, you guys, I am so over being a fiance. I feel like the word is just so ghetto to me at this point. Like, wife me, making me a wife. Because being in fiance land, it's like kind of being in purgatory. Like, it's just like, can we make this official or what? It's just not for me. And I mean, I'm making light of the situation, but truthfully, the reason why the engagement has lasted this long, and actually we hit 1 year, December 31st of 2021. So we're over maybe 13 months into our engagement now. And the reason why it even went on this long so far is because school. You know, he proposed before I started law school. There was absolutely no way I was going to plan my weddings because I'm Nigerian during the first semester of law school. Like, first semester of law school alone was hell. I could not imagine putting wedding planning on top of that. And then I'm an extra bride. Let me just go ahead and confess to you guys who I am. I'm extra as hell. I'm very detail oriented. I am a type A bride. So there's no way I'd be able to balance that on top of my first semester of law school. Absolutely impossible. So this past break, this past month, I've been spending it wedding planning. Finally, I went full force into wedding planning just to kind of fill you guys in on what's even going on. We are going to be married in less than a year from now. I don't know. I'm a bit superstitious. I don't even know if the word is superstitious, but very protective of certain things and certain details. So I will not be saying what date we're getting married. I probably won't even be saying what country we're having one of our destination weddings until we go and have the wedding. But certain details I'd rather keep private, just, you know, just out of protection, and it just makes me feel a bit more comfortable. I'm gonna share what I feel comfortable sharing. But yes, we are having 2 weddings, and we're having 2 destination weddings actually. So planning has been interesting to say the least. The first wedding we're having is our traditional Nigerian wedding. Obviously, we're having it in Nigeria. That's my preferred place to have it. My fiance feels the same way. And I think it'd be beautiful to be able to have all of our families go back home and celebrate our union along with all my family and friends in Nigeria. I went to boarding school in Nigeria for some time, so I have some friends out there. Obviously, all my cousins, uncles, aunts, extended family members, they're all out there. So I want them to be able to, you know, also participate. And I just feel it's just more authentic to have my traditional in Nigeria, in the place where my parents grew up and were born and raised in. So I'm really excited about that. I've already started working with my Nigerian wedding planner. She's amazing. I'll put out details and stuff later on, probably like after the wedding. Because I just want peaceful experience planning this wedding. But yeah, she's been really amazing, really helpful. And so I'm really happy to continue planning the wedding and getting things going. Just even in the process of like getting wedding planners, y'all, it's been crazy. Like planning a Nigerian traditional wedding in Nigeria as a bride based abroad. Listen, prepare yourself. If you are also in a similar situation or plan to be, prepare yourself. It's just a lot dealing with cross-cultural communication, dealing with your own family, Whew. And then if you guys are the bride and the groom are from different parts of Nigeria, have different cultures, different tribes, that can complicate things even more. Luckily for me, my fiance is from Asaba, which is right by Onitsha, which is where I'm from. So we're side by side. We have very similar cultural customs. So it makes things very easy, which I thank God for. So yes, it has been a bit of a struggle trying to get our wedding planner and coordinating certain things. And you know, then also like my parents think that they know how people do trad weddings nowadays. Like my dad's like, do this. This is how it's always done. I'm like, I don't want to do that. So trying to balance like tradition and, you know, modern desires and things that I want to do is also a struggle. Oh, and don't get me started on guest count. For some reason, my mama thinks the whole village can come to my wedding, and that's not happening. I'm like, literally, these vendors want to know your guest count. Like, maybe back in the day, y'all did it like that. Maybe for funerals, y'all still do it like that. But for this wedding, we're not doing that. So y'all, dealing with that has been crazy, but we thank God. Now for my next wedding, my second wedding, my white wedding, you know, the traditional white wedding, white dress wedding, that's also going to be a destination wedding, and it's actually going to be a micro wedding. So I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited to just have my immediate family, his immediate family, in a beautiful place all together. Our families, or let me just say my family, they're not big travelers. You know, my parents' idea of a vacation is to Nigeria to go check on the house they're building, that they've been building for the past 10 years. Let me quit doing them like that. And so I really wanted to take the opportunity to use the wedding as an opportunity to have like a really big family vacation of just like all of us together. Because honestly, how often in your life are you able to get both sides of your family together in a foreign land and y'all just enjoy each other's company for like a week? Like that just hardly ever happens. So family is really important to me. It's also really important to him. And so for marriage, you know, marriage for us is really a merging of our two families. So using this wedding as an opportunity to really just come together and spend time together, learn more about each other, and just create lifelong memories, it's just invaluable. So I've been planning that, which has been really fun actually. I really enjoy that. I'm also working with the destination wedding planner in the country who has been phenomenal. I literally sent her a PowerPoint of different details I wanted, down to like how I wanted my napkins to be laid on the chargers, like ridiculous. But she's been so helpful, and I can't wait to share it with you guys, you know, the final look and just everything that has to do with this wedding, because I'm really excited. The country is stunning. The location is just a dream. I'm just so excited to get married there. And I know our family, like, we're just going to have an incredible time. So I'm really excited for that. Now, of course, with wedding planning comes dresses. So I'm gonna need like a whole bunch of dresses actually. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna say yes to the dress this weekend. It was the first dress I ever tried on and I fell in love. She was beautiful, but I think because it was like the first dress I've ever tried on, I was like, nah, this is too good to be true. Like, this can't be my dress. It's the first one I tried on. Like, I'm sitting here thinking I'm indecisive. I'm gonna have to try on 50 million dresses before I come to the conclusion. But she was beautiful. She was really beautiful. And actually, initially, I didn't even think I was gonna like buy a dress from the store. I thought I was gonna get it designed because I was like, well, I want something unique. I want something this and that and extra and blah, 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 blah. But let me go look at the dresses in the stores and see what kind of style and actually like try on a wedding dress and see what I like and dislike. Turns out that the first dress she pulls out was, I'm pretty sure, the one. So I'll be going back to Houston this weekend for a wedding, and I will also be going back to my bridal store and trying it on again, and then have my whole little cute, this is my dress, yes. So I'm really excited for that. Now, in the coming weeks, my fiance and I will be having our introduction. Basically, for those who aren't Nigerian and don't really know, so like, the Nigerian wedding process, like there's so many different events and like little events and stuff that they do. So introduction is basically when like the man's family comes over to your home and makes his intentions known that he's interested in wanting to marry you. Mind you, I've been engaged for a year. My parents and his parents, you know, they've talked and they know each other. like, it's just out of tradition and out of culture that we really do this at this point. But it's when they come over formally, they bring cola nuts and some gin and say, hey, you know, there's a flower in your garden that we have come to pluck. So I'm excited for that. I think it's gonna be really cute to be able to experience that side of our culture. My daddy said wear something simple, but of course it's me. I went ahead and got a whole dress tailored for it because I said, look, no, this wedding, I'm not playing games. So I'm excited. Now, apart from these different wedding events, we also have our pre-wedding photo shoot coming up very soon. We'll be going to Europe to get our pre-wedding photos done that we'll use at our different wedding events and stuff like that. So I'm really excited. Honestly, I'm just using this wedding as an opportunity to travel, if you guys can tell already. Like, I just basically said I want to get married around the world. Like, let's just make this one big trip where we do this in this country, this in that country, because I love traveling. My fiance loves traveling as well, so I think it's just so befitting for us. And that's one thing I've learned with this whole wedding process. Do what y'all want to do. Like, don't allow other people to pressure you into having a wedding that you don't want. If you don't want a big wedding, don't do one. Do what works for you guys. Do what you want to do. So yeah, I'm excited to go ahead and do our pre-wedding photo shoot, get those pictures back and just see how beautiful they come out and just have a great time in Europe together. That'll be our first time going to Europe together. Now, outside of wedding stuff, you know, I've also found that it's important to, like, you know, as much as we're planning for this wedding and planning for all the great and, you know, cute things we're doing, to also prepare for marriage. Like, you know, after the wedding's just one day, not even a day, it's just a couple of hours. But there's a marriage that follows that. And so that's really where I'm at in life right now, trying to, you know, grow in understanding of what it means to be a wife to my husband, what it means to be married, how to function in this marriage, what kind of foundation we're building for our marriage and our future family that we're building together, all of that. And so I'm just like really in like deep thought about a lot of things, and obviously those kind of thoughts affect career. You know, it's just by nature of being a woman, you know, things kind of affect you differently when you're entering into a marriage. Like, you know, with having a career, how would I balance that with also wanting to be present at home and wanting to be the best wife and mom that I possibly could be? Like, these are very real things to kind of consider. And even when trying to choose a career path, like, how am I going to choose something that's going to balance well with other things that I desire? So there's a lot of questions going on in my head. Just me being the kind of person I am, I know that regardless of whatever happens, whether I'm a housewife or whatever, I'm gonna be doing something lucrative. Like, I need to have my hands in something just to kind of feel like a whole person, you know? So I know I will always be doing something. I'm just not exactly and entirely sure right now what that thing is going to be. But I mean, that's what the purpose of life is, and trying to figure things like that out. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this video caught you guys up a bit with me and what's going on with me with this upcoming year. Be expecting to see more travel vlogs. Actually, my fiance and I just got back from Nicaragua this past weekend to celebrate his birthday, and we'll be flying out soon. So more travel vlogs, of course, more wedding content. I don't know how much detailed the wedding content will be, because I'm not gonna sit here and like tell everything I have planned for my wedding before the actual wedding. But just know I'm doing things behind the scenes. There will be a dress video, a dress shopping vlog, stuff like that. All of that is coming. Also, feel free to let me know down below other things you guys would want to see on this channel. I'd be happy to go ahead and get that content out for you guys. So with that said, please go ahead and give this video a like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.
You a bad girl and your friends bad too. Oh, you got the swag, saucy drippin' swag too. Oh, you a bad girl and your friends bad too. Oh, you got the swag, saucy drippin' swag.